This is Doxy Mom, and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't done so already, I greatly appreciate if you hit that little red subscribe button. You can ring the bell for notifications, and if you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. Well, Miss Indy and I, we're here to bring you the news in 15 minutes or less. First, I wanted to start out with some tweets. Pragmatic, he said this: they tried to cheat the wrong person. He is not going to concede. Dig in, Patriots. Full speech by POTUS on election fraud, and that'll be left on my Twitter, and I will link that in the pinned comments but below. If you have not seen this video, you need to go check it out. Then Truth Seeker said Donald J. Trump was handpicked by God for this moment in human history. Right man, right time, we got this, and yes, we do. Now, the Bradford file, they tweeted, never forget, Nancy Pelosi rejected Trump's offer for direct stimulus checks 2 months ago. And then Nick Adams, he said just an hour or so ago, so this is happening today, big legal hearing in Nevada today for the Trump legal team. 15 plus witnesses will testify. This is huge. And Kiki La Presidente said mail-in ballots can't be in sequential order, but they were in Michigan. And then Monkey Works US, and thank you SLH for sending this to me, says GITMO 2.0 sit rep out of sequence bird coming into GITMO today, another one of the Phoenix Air aircraft, and it has a picture here, guys, of where it's saying that an airplane is coming in from Cartersville, Georgia. And there were a couple of comments I also wanted to share with you. One from Christopher Golis that says, so today, Wednesday, December 2nd, 2020, this plane is going from Cartersville to GITMO, then up to Norfolk, then returning to Cartersville tonight. Busy flight day. And then Kathy, she commented and says, wish we could see who's on it. Well, I know. I wish we could see who is on that, but those were some tweets that I wanted to share with you. Start off with those. Now, let's move on to the new batch of lies that the mainstream media is putting out there. Now, apparently, the FBI, guys, they had been investigating Bill Clinton for receiving money for pardons. But the mainstream media, they're saying that they're investigating President Trump for this, which is just a big old fat lie. And that's why President Trump tweeted out fake news. Now, it says, guys, I even watched a part of the CBSN, the news story on this. And guys, these guys, they are completely evil. The records that the mainstream media are showing are from a 2001 investigation into the pardon of Mark Rich by former President Bill Clinton. And the investigation was closed in 2005. Now, Rich was sentenced to life in prison until Clinton pardoned him in the last chaotic hours of his presidency. This provoked moral outrage by many because Rich had been on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. He had been indicted for tax evasion, fraud, and racketeering. And at the time, it was the biggest tax evasion case in U.S. history. And FBI Director James Comey took over the Clinton-Rich pardon case in 2002. And guess who else was involved? Robert Mueller and Eric Holder. So no wonder Bill Clinton wasn't charged. But here's just another example of how the mainstream media twists things around and just outright lie to people. And the sad thing is that many people believe them. So let's just please pray that people's eyes will be opened, and I will leave a link, and here's your daily reminder to pray for President Trump, his family, 17 in the team, our military, their families, all the lawyers, fighting for our freedom in this country. And also, guys, if you would join me in saying a prayer for a dear friend of mine, a subscriber. Her name is Levita, and bless her heart, she recently lost her husband. I can't imagine how she's feeling, but now she is trying to stay positive, and she knows that her husband is in heaven with the Lord. But if you would please join me in saying a prayer for her, because we all know she's going to need the Lord's strength and comfort during this difficult time, and I greatly appreciate y'all doing that. Okay, let's move on. Sidney Powell and Lynn Wood, they went down to Georgia on Wednesday at a huge rally entitled Stop the Steal, and I'll link the Marshall report, and guys, you can go over there and find the video there. But it was awesome. It was an awesome rally, and one of the first things mentioned was that we're fighting like it's 1776 because we are fighting for our freedom. That's exactly what we're doing, guys. And Lynn Wood, he said, George Soros needs to get out of America, and yes, he does. Now, Lynn goes on to say that they won't vote on machines made in China anymore. They've called to lock up Governor Kemp, which I personally believe will happen, along with all the others that allowed the voter fraud to take place. And who knows, maybe Governor Kemp's going to be on that big airline going down to GITMO today. I don't know. Anyway, Lynn, he says that this is a battle between good and evil, between truth and lies, and this election was a fraud on America, and they've got the evidence to prove it. Donald Trump won by a landslide, and he will stay in the White House. Can you say boom? Now, Sidney Powell, she got up and she says that we're defined by our love of liberty and justice for all. American values include God, family, and country, and those are values we must return to now, and we must stand up and make our voices heard. And y'all, she's absolutely right. Even if it's just watching a CNN clip or like the CBSN clip that I listened to yesterday morning, and leave a comment, guys. Now, don't be ugly about it. Just state that, they're telling lies. And here's you can leave a comment about other alternative channels, my channel, the Marshall Report, the Gateway Pundit, True Pundit. There's tons of reports out there. Just don't leave the actual link. If you do that, it will send it to a held for review box, and they won't approve your comment. Also, don't leave a hashtag because that gets kicked out as well. But just leave a comment and say, guys, you're being lied to, and here's evidence, and point them in the direction of real news. Anyway, back to Sydney. She said that there was and is massive voter fraud against this country, and it took all forms, not just the Dominion machines. There was fraud in the DNA of all the software that was run by any voting system in the country. So they're all at risk of being manipulated. Guys, this is the first that I had heard of that. Now, Sydney says there was fraud in North Carolina, and I knew there was. I knew there wasn't any way that evil Governor Roy Cooper could be reelected. Anyway, Sydney goes on to explain all the different kinds of voter fraud that took place, and they have it all. She said lots of people were cheated, including local races and lots of congressional and Senate seats. Sydney says we need voter ID, and we must go back to paper ballots that are signed and maybe even put our thumbprint on there. She says the swamp runs very deep, and there's a whole lot of draining that needs to be done, especially in the three-letter agencies. Sydney says she will give all their evidence to the DOJ when they pull it all together. So maybe that's why AG Barr said he hasn't seen enough evidence yet to change the election. He hasn't seen it because they haven't turned it over yet. And Barr said that they are not done investigating the fraud. And people are being shipped to GITMO, and I'm sure that they're going to add this to the evidence. So, guys, let's not go bashing AG Barr just yet. Let's wait and see how this plays out, because there's tons of voter fraud evidence. So, keep the faith, patriots. God's prophets have prophesied that President Trump will be a 2-term president. And guys, I believe it with all of my heart. So don't worry, don't stress, and continue to pray. And I will leave a link. Quickly, just want to show you guys, I have Doxy dogs. If you're needing a particular special order Doxy dog where I have to order fabric, it takes about 10 days for that fabric to get here. So if you're needing something for Christmas, please contact me. You can just send me an email and I'll be happy to send you a dog. Now, I want to read to you from the Marshall report that says soldiers killed confiscating servers to prove election fraud. Remember them in prayer. The death of American military soldiers is proof beyond proof of election fraud interference. Our soldiers were killed defending America of enemies, both foreign and domestic, in Frankfurt, Germany. Can we have a moment of prayer and then lift our heads to fight the good fight to win, so their lives were not given in vain? Guys, this is so very, very important. And just remember, there are 222,450 federally sealed indictments. So people are going to go to prison. I know I keep saying this. We just have to have patience. And guys, I did hear some rumors that Obama was indicted on espionage charges in Canada, but I can't find anything on it. One of my husband's friends listens to Canadian radio, said they were talking about it. Craig channel sent me a link. I went to approve it and it disappeared. So Craig, if you're out there listening, if you'd resend me that link, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And I'm going to leave you with John chapter 15, verses 1 through 4 that say, I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit he prunes, so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. Well, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, this is Doxy Mom, and God bless you all.